Welcome, everyone, to another few-minute rant. This is a Saturday rant video, so happy Saturday. Hope your week was great.
I wish today was Saturday.
Right? Be the best. I don't know what that was. All right. What's the...
Manual transmissions. Manual.
So that's the clutch and the stick shift and...
Just saying it for myself a whole bunch of times for no reason. I do not like manuals. I lived in LA and had to drive those freeways with a manual with stop and go traffic. That is not fun at all. I would drive an automatic from now till forever, until I die.
Until the apocalypse.
I mean, I could probably still, find a manual even after the apocalypse. But
why would you want a manual, though?
Well, I mean...
Yeah. I don't know. I get, the whole... manual transmissions are better because you can apparently get better fuel mileage out of them. It's too much work, though. My brother had a manual truck for a long time. Oh, sugar crash. Ugh. Yeah. That's the worst. We needed coffee. We should have had coffee for that.
We should go to a coffee shop after this. Get some food, get some dinner, and then come back and knock out a few more. We can do this, man. I'll drive.
We don't have enough. Let's not get distracted from the rant at hand.
True.
Okay, but we... Anyway, my brother had this manual transmission in his truck, and I was driving one time, and I pulled into the ramp, the on-ramp onto the freeway, and I thought I was going from first gear to second gear. I was actually going from first gear to fourth gear. And so the truck went
reverse, man.
No, it wouldn't go in. No manual transmission will go into reverse.
Yeah, dude, sometimes the reverse is all the way over. I've had that.
The reverse is normally separated from the rest of the things. It's supposed to be, so it's harder.
All the way left. And
regardless of that, though, the manual transmission, the way it works, it will not go into reverse. If it does, the transmission will fall out because it instantly locks up and breaks everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were going, and I went from first gear. I thought I was going into second gear, which is the normal progression. You go first, second, third, fourth to build up speed so you can drive, right?
I know exactly
I went from
where
first
this is going.
into fourth and was going.
And
the engine was barely any RPMs going, and I'm like, what is going on? My brother's worried that I just ruined his truck. My dad was oddly silent, so I think my dad knew exactly what happened, and he was hoping that I would figure it out and learn my lesson to be better at manual transmission. But so we're sitting there, and it is taking forever to go, and I'm on the freeway going 10 miles an hour because the RPMs was not high enough to run at fourth gear. And so we're going, and I'm like, oh, what's going on?
Way to be content with speed, man.
Eventually, it starts to catch, and it starts to pick up speed, and it goes. And I was like, what just happened? And my dad was like, I think you went from first directly into fourth and skipped everything else. And it's not like it was bad for the transmission. It's the transmission didn't seize up, it didn't stop the car, which is how I determine if it was bad. It may have been terrible. Any mechanics out there, feel free to weigh in, but yeah, it was, I felt so stupid.
It's happened to the best of us. I've done it before.
You know what's funny, though?
Immediately after doing that, I was like, oh, I want to go faster.
Yeah, I want to actually drive now. What's funny is, being in an automatic, vehicle with an automatic transmission, it's always funny to be behind a vehicle at a stop sign or a stoplight that the light turns green and they start to roll back towards you and then go forward. And it's like, oh, Manual transmission. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, there's got to be a better way to do that so you don't potentially run into the person behind you. Because
It's called,
like,
don't park as close.
Like, I try to, like, leave some good distance, and I've had people get real close because they rolled back so far before finally going forward. And I'm like, ugh. You know?
I've had someone back into me. They started going into the road and then realized it was a bad idea because there were a lot of cars coming. And I mean, like, I pulled up too because it's LA, man. The person in front of you goes, you go.
Yeah.
And
when I go,
so
you
I'm
go,
like,
you go.
I'm at the sidewalk. She was in, like, almost all the way in the lane and then decides to back up.
Ugh.
And I'm like watching this lady like she is not paying attention at all. And then I honk. Still no reaction. Just a constant reverse and ends up bumping into my car. And it's like, I mean, there was no damage done to my car.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't think there was even any done to hers. But she gets out of the car, super pissed off, and like starts yelling at me and stuff. And I'm like, lady, I didn't even move. You know?
Yeah,
she's like, well, what do you want to do? You know, like, oh, I'm going to call the cops on you because you touched my car with your car. No, I was like,
well, I mean, technically,
there's no damage
well
on my
within
car.
rights.
I don't care. Go home.
Go home, lady.
Find a better attitude.
Yeah,
and she was mad when I did that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care. You know.
Yeah.
It was an old car at the time.
No harm, no foul.
Exactly. And she was still pissed off about that.
Yeah. I will. Oh my gosh, sugar crash, dude.
Don't crash.
5 Snickers later, and Endicott can't hold his sugar, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say this: when you're driving, if you commit to pulling out into a road, like if you have committed to it, which means half of your vehicle is in the lane, you don't get to back out at that point. You have to pull forward and either face the consequences of getting hit by traffic, or you pull forward and, you know, just keep going. Like, you cannot back up on a road.
Yeah, it's gonna be I think the person's fault behind you if they hit you anyways. If you get all the way out onto the road.
Yeah, I mean,
what are you gonna say? Like, it's their front of their car that's smashed up, and your back end of the car that's smashed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
so I will say this: like, when someone makes a stupid decision and you're driving, do your best to avoid the accident, even if it is literally not your fault. Do your best to avoid the accident. Like, you know, there have been plenty of times where I have noticed, like, okay, this person is doing something that they should not be doing, and, you know, I have to react as a fully autonomous human being that can make decisions for myself.
Bro,
like,
people just can't do that anymore.
Right? Like, we can't slow down. We can't stop texting. We can't, you know, pay attention to the safest course of action while we're driving anymore.
You're like, come on, man. You ruined my Facebook time. Scrolling on my pocket phone.
Yeah. Oh, because I hit you doing 80, I went all the way up to the top. Why did you stop at that red light?
Like, you made me automatically scroll. I lost my place. If he was still holding the phone, I probably would just slap it right out of his hands.
I would slap it out of his hands, and if it was not totally destroyed, I would probably start stomping on it. Like, you don't deserve a phone anymore. You're an idiot.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But, I mean, just be smart while you're driving, man. Especially if you have a manual transmission.
And drive.
Be conscientious of the fact that there's someone behind you.
Just drive an automatic.
Yeah.
Thinking about gears is probably too hard for this generation now.
Yeah. If you're like 20 or below, don't even attempt a manual transmission. Just go straight to the automatic.
I did have a friend, though, and I was like, man, this guy's like dumb. I used to think he was a genius. He is a genius. But we were with our girlfriends or something, hanging out. I think we went out to dinner or something. He wanted me to drive his mom's car, and I'm like, why do you want me to drive your mom's car? He's like, dude, I've been driving manual for so long, I forget how to use an automatic. And I just kind of like looked at him like, there's a thin line between genius and insanity. But I was like...
And he's way over here in stupid.
I was like...
He's not even at the genius. He's over in stupid. He's not an insane.
Hold on, but he was genius because I realized why he made up that stupid lie. Because you don't forget how to drive an automatic.
You want to know what it was?
He wanted to be in the back seat with his lady. That's what it was.
While you're driving the car, he's macking on his lady.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And here I am, driving everyone like a good person.
Making sure
Let's
everyone
go get
gets home
some
safe.
pizza or something. I think it was pizza. We went to get pizza, and we got there, and I caught him. Like I caught him in the back seat, smooching his lady, and I made him drive on the way back, and got to do the same thing. So.
Oh.
He got me though. He got me. So props to you, buddy.
We're not going to say his name though. We're not going to give him the satisfaction. Being named in an internet video nobody watches.
True.
Well, anyway, hope none of that made sense. Thank you for liking and commenting. Thank you for sharing this with your friends. If you want to see us do a challenge, go ahead and comment down below. And you know what? Make up a challenge. Like, there's a bunch of challenges out there. Make up a challenge. Write the rules down.
Your rules. Okay? We promise to do it your way. We don't promise to do it, but if we do it, it's going to be your way.
Do.
Who else uses that as their, like, slogan?
What?
Is it like Burger King or something?
Have it your way?
Yeah.
That is Burger King. Although Owen Wilson's character in some movie said that it was the Army. And he was like, as we always said in the Army, have it your way. And the kid was like, that's Burger King. And he's like, where do you think Burger King got it?
I like that. All right. Later, guys.